Welcome to my video. In this short demo, I will be working with lino cut tools from UK brand Essdee. I am a big fan of this UK based brand and I stock these items in my web shop and I use them in the workshops that I teach face to face in my art studio in Liverpool. Essdee's lino tool is this distinctive red handle with comfort shape. The metal part, the chuck, is the screw section, which allows you to use these interchangeable profile blades or cutting blades. These profile shapes are available in 10 different styles, numbered 1 to 10. And here you can see I've got each numbered blade with its own handle to make a complete set of 10 lino cutting tools. As a complete beginner, you can buy a lino cut tool set with one handle and blades 1 to 5 complete in a box. For those who've done lino cut before and are familiar with it, you can get yourself more blades, extra single blades and extra handles. And that's how you would make up your own lino cut tool set like this, which makes it much easier when you're working. The handles are there all ready for you to use. To change a blade, you simply turn anti-clockwise the silver section of the tool. You don't have to remove it fully, just loosen it, which allows you to insert the rounded kind of half moon shaped peg section into the end of the lino cut tool and then tighten it back up. Don't over tighten, you don't need to over tighten because don't forget you'll be pushing against the blade. To change out that blade again, just loosen it off again, remove the blade, swap it out as you go. Easy to do, but really annoying when you're in the middle of a creative masterpiece to have to keep swapping blades. So here today, 1 to 10, and I'm going to show you what the individual blades look like as you're working with them. So these blades are actually numbered, slightly etched on the reverse side of the blade with the number 1 to 10, but they're so tricky to see that's another reason why it's really handy to have them put into the handles so that you could actually, and I'm going to do this right now, you can mark on each of those handles or sticky label the number of the blade that you have put into the end. And 10. Another thing I've done for today is I have used a permanent marker just to mark off my lino sheet's surface in a jet black, and as I'm doing this demonstration it's going to be much easier for you to see the contrast made when I use the tools, and you'll be able to quickly and easily see the marks that each blade makes. I wouldn't recommend doing this for an actual print. You don't want the permanent marker to actually interfere with your print. There are methods of applying acrylic paint to the surface of lino if you are struggling to see the difference between the surface of the lino and the inner core of the lino as you're cutting, but I wouldn't recommend using a permanent marker for that. Okay, let's get started. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3, a slightly more rounded version of number 2. Much easier to take away more surface area. Number 4, a pretty wide U-shaped tool. So not as easy to control as numbers 2 and 3, but great tool to dig down and scoop up you wouldn't probably be able to make that mark as easily with the other blades. Ooh, I quite like this one. Very subtle differences, and it's going to be down to what you feel comfortable with. Number 5, no one ever knows what to do with this blade, so I'm going to show you. Use it as a craft knife, crafting tool. And in this case I'm doing a straight line, but you could choose to, if you can, draw a circle or a curve, like an orange segment. And then if you use, I'm going to use number 2. So I'm pushing almost up to the line, as close as I can get, but not quite on it. I don't want to go over, like there, I just went over. It's going to involve practice. You might find it easier with number 3 rather than number 2. The idea is that that straight cut line that I've done allows for a dead stop at the end of the mark. It's a tricky one. There we go. I think I've got the hang of it. I think the idea is to go slow, especially at the end, and flick up. Yeah, definitely practice with that one, but you can see hopefully that you get this super sharp dead stop edge as opposed to these characteristic rounded or feathered flicky edges that you get. So that's 1 to 5, 6, which is a very shallow surface scoop. I quite like this 6. It's like carving butter. You get this very solid, consistent straight line. A great one for taking away surface area. Yeah, I really like that one. And also great for surface dots because it's so shallow. You can make these amazing little peppercorn shapes and spots. Number kind of a 7, which is kind of like a square or a trough. Ooh, that's completely different. That is literally like a snowplow. How interesting. Get this really nice square end, so you could flick up and make some nice squares. Uneven kind of, it's almost like the marks that they have on DNA. Super scoop. Number 7. Which is a really wide, the widest we've had so far, round tool. Which are going to be really good for taking away a lot of surface area. Also some nice round marks. That's the one that's taken away the most surface area so far. So if you have areas that you need to take large amounts away, if you're working on a big piece of lino, that's going to be a great blade. Number 8. Sometimes you need to take away quite a lot of background. So that would be a great tool for that. Number 9, which is a very deep V. Maybe you can see that one. So go. Oh, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Love that. That's great. If I'm honest, as a line, it's not really that different to blade number 1 in terms of the fineness of the line, but it's so much easier to use. I was just flicking back to number 1 there, just as a comparison, but I love number 9. Very deep pips. And it's quite easy to control also, because it's got a nice depth to it. Okay, and the last one, number 10, which is again, it's another V, but not quite as deep a V as 9. That goes really easily and makes a really deep mark. Oh, it was quite good control over that, so easy. I don't know whether that comes across on the camera. I wonder how that would work here. Yeah, that was quite good to use. In conclusion, I'd say, really, although the marks don't differ enormously from blade to blade, the way you use them is what really makes the biggest difference. So it's down to how you feel comfortable and the range of different marks that you can produce with your favourite tools. I'm not going to say you're going to need 10 different shape blades to produce a piece of art. I tend to have my favourites. A set of 3 or 4 different shapes, and it's pushing your own creativity to produce something exciting and varied. It's so much fun. See you soon!